It's time to get the latest on the green and gold as we go in the huddle. In the Huddle on the Woodward Radio Network. In the Huddle is brought to you by Mills Fleet Farm. Now, here's Bill Scott and Green Bay tight end DJ Williams.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Tanner's in Kimberly. Good to have you along here after the Packers knock off the Saints 28-27. And that was just back and forth. Nothing but excitement yesterday, wasn't it?
Got your money's worth. It was fun. I was inactive, so I got to sit back and actually take everything in, and it was just an extremely dramatic game. I mean, y'all couldn't hear what we were hearing, what the coaches were saying about some stuff that was going down. It was just a great environment, a great game, and a great win.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch. You guys scored the very first time, I believe, first quarter points for the first time this season.
Yeah, that's huge.
Does that take a little load off now?
Yeah, it was good playing with the lead for a while. And we had a commanding, lead for the game, I feel like, then that turn of events with the fumble and everything kind of started going downhill, then a couple calls here and there, but we got back on track and pulled out the W. Just
for the record, I want to get this out. It's my statement, not yours. You may agree, but you probably would get in trouble if you agreed. Jeff Triplett, you know who Jeff Triplett is, right?
Who's Jeff Triplett?
Jeff Triplett is the referee.
Okay.
Refereed your game yesterday.
Okay.
All right. Out of all of the real referees, he's the worst.
He's the worst one?
He's the worst in the league. I mean, he is literally. I mean, he's been roughing in the league for a while now, and if there's a guy that screws up more calls, it's Jeff Triplett.
At Lambeau, usually at Lambeau.
Yeah, wherever.
Anywhere.
He's an equal opportunity screw-upper. So
that's. I thought it was. I think maybe the worst call of the game was that completion that they gave to Graham on that third down. I thought that was unbelievable because I think Jordy had somewhat of a similar, decision, about the ball hitting the ground. And so we're like, for sure, our defense, 3 and out, let's go do this thing. And they give it to them. And then I think they ended up going and scoring on that drive. So that was unbelievable call.
I've always liked instant replay because you're, in theory, you want to get the call right. Problem is they don't always get the call right.
It's crazy how you can sit there and look at it time after time and we just haven't had the best luck with instant replay lately. It's been crazy.
Well, you know what? The best way, in my opinion, to cure instant replay is to get rid of the referee actually going under the hood and looking at the call. Because if they mess it up, they don't want to, they don't want to tell the world that they messed it up.
Very true.
So they kind of stay with their call more times than not. And what they need is an independent guy. I mean, somebody who knows his stuff.
Like maybe a replay official.
Yeah, a replay
That's
official.
His only job. Yeah, that'd be
absolutely.
Smart.
Somebody like Lenny, for example.
Yeah, this is sweet. Was that a hot pink tie? That looks good tonight.
Yeah, Lenny's styling tonight.
Yeah,
Lenny could go. He could be sitting up in the booth and he could make calls. You couldn't do any worse than Jeff Triplett. Let's put it that way. Greg Jennings down again with a groin injury, and Mike McCarthy at his press conference today said there's a decent chance, although they'll let him have the week and see how things go, but there's a decent chance that maybe the best thing is to set him down, and if it's a week, if it's 2 weeks, to finally get that thing taken care of.
Yeah, it's a long season. He's a big part of our offense, but, we want him to be a part of it later on down the road and into the playoffs, and if he's nursing that injury, then he needs to go ahead and take care of it. I think it's kind of funny how he got his touchdown first, and then it started bothering him.
It hurts. Jordy Nelson had a big day, 8 catches and a touchdown. Randall Cobb, 7 catches, 66 yards. And James Jones, 5 for 56 and 2 touchdowns. Although, according to Aaron Rodgers, the second touchdown that was headed in the direction of Jones and Finley, Rodgers says that was actually Finley's ball.
Oh, yeah, you could see it on film because James starts running to the right because Aaron's out of the pocket. He's scrambling, did a great job. And Jermichael's coming in the back of the end zone. And so he just throws it up at the last second. And James just kind of said, okay, I'm going to go steal this one real quick. Because it was clearly to Jermichael. And James just, I mean, I ain't mad at him. I do the same thing.
Hey, you go to the ball, right?
Yeah, make plays. all of his catches were unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That last one was incredible.
That was unreal. It's like it went through his body.
And he didn't even need to make it because he got the interference call, but the simple fact that
he
the
did make it,
concentration was there and he made it was unbelievable.
Did they decline the penalty to give him the catch?
Yes, I believe they did.
Yeah, that's good. That was a good catch.
Actually, I don't know. I don't know if they did or not. Yeah, they did.
Hope they did.
They did because it was a first down.
Yeah. Unbelievable. He had a great game.
5 catches, 56 and 2 touchdowns. Offensive line, no sacks allowed yesterday.
There we go.
What's up with that? Huh?
Well,
I'm just kidding.
I don't know if you followed much on Twitter with TJ and City. They've been talking about this. They made improvements in practice. We only gave up 7 sacks today, and I think towards the week they worked their way down to 0, so it all worked out.
Yeah, and none yesterday. And I thought both sides, and I'm not so sure. There wasn't a lot of blitzing going on really either side of the ball. I kind of think that the defensive coordinators and the defensive game plans, they just had so much respect for the ability of the quarterback and the offenses to pick up blitzes that they feared getting shred apart. So, there was a surprise blitz every once in a while, but they were few and far between.
Especially with a quarterback like Breeze, he knows what he's doing out there, and he can pick up a blitz when it's coming and maybe that'll set up a big play. I felt like there was a lot of zone coverage in the game and a lot of third downs, and I think both teams converted a lot on third down. And, not what I want to be saying for our defense, but, they made big-time plays when they needed to. It was a good game.
Aaron Rodgers gets poked in the eye.
Poked in the eye? You don't poke him in the eye. That's crazy.
And then Graham Harrell.
That's bad news.
That poor guy. Nothing's going his way, is it?
Think about his mindset. He puts on something like this and a little clipboard, and he's ready to watch some football. Then something like that happens, and he's thrown in the fire, on the goal line. And I think that just had to do with a little bit of tempo with the game, because that's something, a handoff he makes every day in practice, but the speed is picked up a little bit in the game, and it just, I guess it's a good experience, I guess, in a way.
And you're right. It's great experience, because I thought, the one thing that he just didn't do that he should have done is it was 1st and goal at the 1.
Hold on to it.
Hang on to it. Take the 2-yard loss or whatever. It's 2nd down. You might get another chance. Maybe Rodgers comes waltzing back in. Who knows? But, live for another day.
Yeah. Well,
and that's
good learning
experience.
Yeah. So, and we won, so it's all right.
Absolutely. He went from potential GOAT to being a guy that, well, I guess we talk about it, but that'll be about it. It'll be the last anybody hears from it.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. All right. We're going to take a break. We'll come back and we'll meet our guest on the show tonight. More to come from Tanners and Kimberly. DJ and I will be back after this timeout on the Woodward Radio Network. In the Huddle continues from Tanner's Sports Bar and Grill in Kimberly's. Transportation for our guests during the season brought to you by L&S Classic Limousine Service. Personal professional service for all occasions. Call Lenny or Sue at 920-730-8297 for reservations. If you're outside the area, again, give Lenny a buzz. He'll tote you around. He'll do it first class. 920-730-8297. Back with our co-host DJ Williams. In the Huddle continues. It's brought to you by Mills Fleet Farm. And DJ, time to introduce our guest.
Well, we got from Hawaii. Was it University of Hawaii?
Yeah, University of Hawaii.
We got Alex Green, running back, in here today.
Who's just dying to get on the football field. We were talking about this during the break, and the coaching staff was ready to throw him out there a couple of times, and what happened?
Yeah, my number got called a couple of times. Said had a couple of carries, so he was a little winded. Called my number up, and I went in, and then Said told me, "No, you good, you good." I'm good. So I had to double check, make sure he was good, and he said he was good, so he sent me back to the sideline.
Coach sends you in, say, you can say, all right, Said, there's you over here, and there's a coach over here. Who am I supposed to listen to?
Right. So he's a vet. So,
and you don't want to be, and it's national TV. You don't want to be that guy who runs halfway out and gets sent back off. You know?
Man, that's embarrassing.
You don't want to be that guy.
Played in 4 games as a rookie in 2011, primarily on special teams, but also as the number 3 running back before seeing his debut season cut short by a knee injury at Minnesota in week number 7 And that had to be a little devastating for you right off the bat to lose the rest of your rookie season, have to go through that long haul, rehab, and all that stuff.
Right. It was one of those things. I was just starting to get used to the offense. Starting to get acclimated to the system and things like that. And just on that particular game, just went down. That was actually a game that I was supposed to actually get more carries and get more playing time. But got cut short, so after rehab the whole off season, get back out there again.
Yeah, and from what I hear from players that have gone through that is you become fairly isolated from the rest of the football team. It's just not the same. I mean, you're around there and you say hi to the guys, but it's not the same thing, is it?
Right, no, it's not. You see the guys every day, usual, but the difference is that you're not in the field battling with them. So it's that kind of distance just naturally because, those guys putting in work every day on the field, they bust their tails to get a win, and then I'm over here just rehabbing, not really a part of it. I am, but I'm not, So it kind of isolates you a little bit just naturally.
Mm-hmm. Now, you guys are in the same draft class.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Alex Green before?
I have. Watching, who I play, USC, they always had a good game. And I just remember that running back with the dreads. And here he is.
How about the other way around?
Yeah, I heard of DJ. I seen one game, I want to say maybe it was against LSU. Some game that kept showing on ESPN. He caught the ball, did some kind of neat spin move, and I think it's
Mississippi State.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, it was Mississippi State. Against Sherrod, his senior year.
Yeah, that's so, they showed him a lot, so I kind of heard him from then and, the combine and everything, so.
You were the 8th running back taken in the 2011 draft, 3rd round pick of the Packers. First player taken by the Packers from the University of Hawaii. How'd you end up in Hawaii? You're from Portland, Oregon originally, right?
Yeah, from Portland. I played some JUCO ball in California. Same JUCO as Aaron Rodgers. I played with his little brother, Jordan Rodgers. He was my quarterback when I was there. Had academic issues. Actually committed to 3 different schools, Bowling Green first, UTEP, and then University of Washington. But academic problems came up on all 3 schools, and I couldn't get in there. So, I had a buddy who was from Portland that I went to Butte with, and he actually committed to Hawaii previous of that. So, he was over there. So he talked to the coaches for me and, said, look, we got a guy, got academic problems, but he's a good player. Mm-hmm. They checked me out, and then I qualified academically, and they offered. So I just committed on the spot.
Yeah. DJ, how'd you like to play in Hawaii?
You see, it would have been fun.
Yeah.
Y'all would have been, I don't know if I could handle that, though. I'd be in trouble.
Do they have cows in Hawaii?
I think Samoan women are very beautiful. So it's probably best I didn't. Good I stayed down in the South. And you don't have academic problems at the University of Arkansas. You earn your grades on the field. That's how I got through college.
That's the secret. Okay, there you go. That's
you might have had a few problems concentrating on football if you played in Hawaii.
Oh yeah, I mean the sunsets. That's perfect environment to set up a good first date.
Yeah.
So I would have been all on that. The little, they be hula dancing and stuff?
Yeah, everything. It's crazy because in class, they be in class with like bikinis on and stuff. So they be either going to the beach or coming from the beach. So,
so
the athletes just
so you never missed a day, huh?
Right.
High school, you probably had a hard time showing up, but when you got to college.
I got to make sure I'm not saying too much. My girl looking at me, she gives me that.
Got his girlfriend over here.
So what's it like playing football there?
It's fun. It's fun. They have no other any pro sports, basketball or football. So we kind of the pro sport there. The University of Hawaii is the big thing at Hawaii. Everybody, all the local guys want to go up and play for Hawaii. It's like a big accomplishment. This is a great football place to be in. Everything is just football, everything. And it's great fans, and they show a lot of support.
Traveling must be terrible, man.
Oh, we leave like probably almost a week early before going to a game, just how far it is. And then we got 2 back-to-back away games. We'll just stay on they call it the mainland. We'll stay over here and then stay in Vegas actually for a week. We always stayed in Vegas and then play the team. So it was kind of different. We didn't have much school because we always traveled so much.
That should be.
Yeah. That's how it is now.
Barry Sanders is your favorite athlete?
Yeah, I watched him a lot growing up. I actually collected his football rookie cards. When I was growing up, that was one of the guys that I really enjoyed watching. With no O-line too, he did it all by himself.
You had to be disappointed when he walked away from the game as early as he did.
As back then, I was disappointed. Now, looking at it now, I kind of understand.
Yeah.
maybe a little bit of his mindset and the choice that he made and why he made it. Back then, I was devastated, you know, but looking at it now, I kind of understand.
It's tough, man.
Yeah, it is.
I know people talk about these guys complain too much, but when I'm 24 years old and I wake up, it takes me like 10 minutes just to roll out of bed and like pop my back and my knees and my ankles. I want to be able to play with my kid, you know, when I get older.
Right.
Stuff like that. So you can understand why some of the players hang it up early.
So do you have any grand visions at this point in time of how long you'd like to play?
I'd love to play like 20 years. I'd say that. It'd be nice.
But probably not realistic, right?
Yeah, probably not realistic.
Yeah.
Unless I start deep snapping or kicking or something, then I'll be good.
Those deep snappers got it pretty good, don't they?
They got it pretty good.
I mean, the rules say you can't hit them.
No. I mean, think about it like this. Deep snapper, let's just give them league minimum. They get paid like $30,000 a week just to get on the field like 5 plays. Isn't that a nice gig?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, a guy like Brett Good,
Barely getting hit.
who's been around for a long time, I mean, his veterans minimum is, you know, that's up around $800,000 right now.
Yeah, that's nice. Just to snap it. So if y'all got kids, just teach them how to snap the ball and take care of the whole family.
Right.
Don't worry about studies or anything like that. Just learn how to snap the ball. Yeah, there's, you know, in that game, you know, the Packers have had some pretty good ones, and Rob Davis, who works in the organization right now, he was really one of the guys that stood out as one of the first really good, consistent long snappers. And I don't want to say he's the first one that's all he played, but he was one of the first ones.
I say, you know, they got an easy job because that's all they do. But if they mess up one time, then it's bad news. Yeah. So they don't have very much room for error.
It's like the kicker.
Yeah.
Kickers.
He can make them all, but if he misses that one kick at the moment he needs to make it, then it's bad news.
I guess it's tough on them mentally. There's a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure.
So the Packers kind of brought you along slowly as you went through the off-season program into training camp, and you know, were you kind of itching to just get out there and get going, or did you think that they had you right on target?
Yeah, after about 5-6 months, I was just tired of it already. I was tired of doing the same thing, you know, the same rehab day in, day out. You know, even though it was obviously, you know, to help me, I was just tired of just the whole process. You know, I was ready to just get in the field and start cutting, you know, and start running and getting in the pads and everything. And watching those guys doing the whole offseason, you know, it was just like, man, and I missed another offseason, you know, the lockout and then now the rehab thing. So, you know, it's just like putting myself behind the 8 ball even more. But, you know, that's what it's all about, though. You know, it's about overcoming adversity, and that's what our coach preached on us a lot. So we learned a lot from that. But, you know, it was just, after about 5-6 months, it was just to the point where I just wanted to get in the field again. So by training camp, I was ready to go.
All right, Alex Green is our guest on the program tonight. We'll be back with more Alex and DJ when we come back. Back with more in the Huddle from Tanners and Kimberly after this on the Woodward Radio Network. In the Huddle is brought to you by Mills Fleet Farm. We're back here at Tanner's Sports Bar in Kimberly. Good to have you along, DJ Williams, and our special guest tonight is Alex Green. Well, DJ, I'm going to have you go through first it was a fake field goal, now a fake punt, and not just a fake punt, but a fake punt deep in your own territory.
That's how we do it, roll the dice.
Absolutely. Well, there's no question. I've never seen a coach roll the dice as much as McCarthy so far early in the season.
I was sitting there watching, looking, and, you know, it's something obviously we practice, and very surprised that it was like 4th and 1. And the way that they played their punt return, they only had 6 guys in the box. And you think on our punt team we have 8 people. So in a blocking scheme, we have them outnumbered. And I was like, okay. And they really don't tell anyone except, you know, they probably told John Kuhn, if you see 6 people, then you can do it if you want to. Right. So it was John's decision when he went out there. And he said he probably made the call, then boom, there you go. And he almost, you know, if he would have shrugged one little tackle, he probably would have had another touchdown on special team. Not him, but we would have had another special teams touchdown. So it worked out well.
Mike McCarthy was actually very surprised that, I mean, it got 5 yards and you only needed 3 or 1 or whatever it was, but it got 5. He thought it was going to go for big. He's really surprised.
Yeah, we were too. Yeah. If you really look at it, if one guy, I can't blame anybody. We got a first down. That's the big part, and then we scored. But it could have been a really good play.
I think 9 or 10 plays later, you scored a touchdown.
Yeah, so it was a good call. Don't be scared. You gotta make the big time calls.
Yeah, well, it's. I mean, I give him credit, and it's going to be interesting to see if he makes that big time call and it doesn't work. Then you'll have the. You know how fans are. They can be a little fickle from time to time.
And even at the end of the game, throwing the ball on that third down.
I like that.
You like that?
Yeah.
I figured they were going to do it too. Well, we didn't have any.
Because if you run the ball, I mean, I think there was 4 yards or 3 yards for a first down.
I couldn't call it. I wasn't paying. I mean, I was paying attention, but I can't remember exactly how long it was.
I think they're looking for. I mean, they're covering, man coverage on the outside, but they're looking run.
Yeah.
They've got to think that you want to keep the clock rolling. No timeouts left, so that the clock's going to roll down. But I like the pass. I think you guys in a short passing game are money.
I like it.
A very high percentage.
I feel like we got some of the best receivers in the National Football League, and for sure the best quarterback. Yeah. So can't complain about that call.
Yeah. Tell me about your thoughts on the fake.
I thought it was a great call on the fake. Obviously, John Coon, he came to the sideline and he told me, he was like, man, I'm just trying to get 3 yards after that, to the house. So that was his mindset the whole time going into it. Was a score from, 90 yards away, I think it was. But, slow, that's kind of the coach that he is. He take chances, he take shots, and he trusts guys to make it happen. That's what we've been taught our training camp. So,
I think Sean Slocum's come a long way as a special teams coach.
We've done very well in special teams.
Yeah. I remember early on he was, in a lot of it he's new, he's learning things. I don't think the units were especially as good. I mean, it's natural to think that if the talent on the team overall is lacking a little bit, then as you get into the non-starters, the guys that are asked to play special teams, they're not going to be as good. The last 2 to 3 years, that talent base has been pretty rock solid.
Yeah.
And it's the point where when you come to try to make a football team in Green Bay, you're trying to make it on special teams.
Yep.
Because there's not a lot of starting spots open.
That's huge. I think that's why you see so many linebackers and tight ends on the roster.
And then I think, in years past, because you didn't know who was going to make the team as a starter, you didn't know who was going to make special teams. There were so many different combinations flying in and out during the preseason. And I know you've got to give everybody a chance on special teams, but I think they have a much more clear picture as to what their game plan is going to be going into the regular season with the type of personnel they want to use.
Very true.
Yeah.
First of all, I would have loved to see John Coon, run like 70 yards down the field, because first of all, he's like, he got little legs, a little still look like SpongeBob running down the field with red hair. And I tell you and would be real interesting to see how long the crowd would have yelled Coon the whole way down the field. And on top of that, I tell you, my family came up. My sister, she lives in Dallas, and brought one of her friends up. But my sister's first experience in Green Bay, I don't know, I can say this because, I'm mixed, so I'm white and black. But her first experience is when John caught the ball. She just heard everyone in the stadium yell out, Coon! She's black, so she's looking around like, got all these people yelling out, Coon. She didn't know what was going on. She was like, do you hear it? Because she's sitting in the family section, and a lot of the athletes on the team were black. She's like, are they really yelling out Coon right now? It's just, so that was a pretty cool experience for her.
Oh, I don't know where to go from there. Are you surprised that the Saints are 0-4?
Go ahead.
I'm very surprised. Yeah. They have a great team. Drew Brees did a good job over there. They got, good receivers, good running backs.
I think that them being 0-4 goes to show how much a coaching staff really plays into the success of a team. They don't have their head coach from last year. They lost their defensive coach, and that's where they're struggling is on defense because they're putting up points. And, losing Jonathan Vilma, just one player, really makes that much of a difference, especially when it's your defensive captain. So I think that has a lot to do with the way they are right now.
All right, more surprised that the Saints are 0-4 or that the Vikings are 3-1?
Boo. I can't call it. I don't know.
I mean, the Vikings have pretty much come out of nowhere.
Yeah, they struggled last year. You got to think they had a rookie quarterback last year. He's got a little bit more experience. They got Adrian Peterson back, and he's been playing very well, and they've been playing exceptionally well on special teams. And so, they're making a case for, being a good divisional opponent this year, and it'll be a good game.
Saints, by the way, the only winless team in the National Football League right now.
That's crazy.
And that is crazy. I mean, that's a team that
won the Super Bowl not too long ago.
And not only that, the Super Bowl goes through their house this season.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't think they'll be making it to that one.
No,
you know?
Doesn't
Not
look
going
like
to
it.
their own party.
You guys aren't going to play a divisional opponent until November 18th.
And that's terrible.
Detroit.
You know, you try to get those division games out early before it gets cold. Because it's terrible playing when it's cold.
At least spread them out.
Yeah.
You know, but to have them, there's going to be a bunch, 5 of them bunched in the last month and a half, 5 weeks of the season.
I think it'll be very entertaining for the fan base, though, because those are the ones that count. You want to win your division.
You'd like to get, Houston or Jacksonville, those are the teams you want in your house in December.
Right.
You know, and you don't want, it doesn't matter if Chicago comes here.
They're used to it.
You know, even though Minnesota and Detroit play in domes, they still live in cold weather, so, they're going to be a little bit more used to it.
It makes a big difference when those teams come from, hot climate environments. When they come in the Lambeau Field when it's negative 15 degrees, it's unbelievable. So it's a big home field advantage playing here, even though it's terrible, but it's still an advantage.
Saw a poll question in a Seattle newspaper online today.
Oh, yeah.
They're already questioning, poll question is, should the Seahawks go with Matt Flynn instead of Russell Wilson? So it's only taken 4 weeks now.
Yeah.
And
did they lose?
And they're calling for, they did lose. Who did they lose to? St. Louis. And so they're calling for Matt Flynn now.
Would they give him like $26 million, something like that? I think it's a good number to call. And I think his talent, I'm very surprised that he hasn't started playing already.
Yeah.
Will we get to a point this season where fans will lay off officials, or did the most recent negotiation ruin it for the refs?
I think it was great when referee called for the coin flip. Everybody in the stands is going crazy, cheering for the officials to get back. And I was just like, I'm just waiting for that one call where they just changed their mind. And then sure enough, it came. So they got more pressure than ever. Everyone was happy. Then I think after one of those calls, they were chanting, "Refs still suck." So, so I knew that was coming.
It's, it's almost a false expectation. But these regular refs, when they were on the field last year, they made mistakes. They're just not going to make as many of them and maybe as bad of mistakes.
Yeah, they make obvious mistakes.
Yeah.
They're showing on the scoreboard, the replay, and they still call the same call.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
All right, we'll take a break, and we come back. It'll be time for our Granite Peak email segment. Justin Hall will jump on board and find out what's going on with the players here, Alex Green and DJ Williams. More after this on the Woodward Radio Network. Back at Tanner's Sports Bar and Grill in Kimberly, brought to you by Mills Fleet Farm. In the huddle continues DJ Williams and Alex Green. Granite Peak Ski Area is gearing up for an incredible ski season. Season passes now on sale. If you ski or ride 6 times or more, the season pass is your best value. New this season, Granite Peak welcomes Dasher, a new high-speed quad chairlift serving the western runs. The best just keeps getting better. Visit skigranitepeak.com. Time now for our email segment. It's brought to you by Granite Peak, and we send it out to Justin Hall.
All right, inthehuddleshow.com. That's the website. Go there. You can submit your questions each and every week. Get an opportunity to win that ski package. So first question is for you, Alex, coming from Terry in Little Chute. Wants to know that most people think of Green Bay and Hawaii as being totally opposite living environments. Now that you've been in Green Bay for over a year, do you think there are any similarities between the two?
No. No. We played a bowl game December 24th, Christmas Eve, and it was probably 96 degrees outside.
Wow.
No, so you can just go right there. And December 24th here is not going to be, 96 degrees.
87 degrees, maybe.
Now, did any of you have any adventures with snow? I know Sam Shields was on the show last year, and he mentioned he had a little trouble with the snow driving too fast one time. But Did you have any snow adventures? Did you see snow before you came to Green Bay?
Yeah, it snowed a little bit in Portland. Not obviously not as much as it snows here. I heard that this year or last winter wasn't as bad as previous winters, which, was good for me. Just experienced the first one not being so bad. But I had a problem with driving too slow. I couldn't, I didn't trust myself to really drive too fast, driving probably 10, 5 miles per hour. Cars behind me honking at me and stuff and telling me to go. But, I'm too nervous to go any faster. I felt like I was sliding everywhere. And I got a truck too, so
yeah, growing
I gotta
up
get used to that.
has to be different because if you're in Arkansas and there's a chance of snow as a kid, you're not going to sleep because you're watching the TV. Because if it snows at least an inch, everything shuts down. You don't go to school, parents don't go to work. I mean, your neighborhood is about to go crazy. Everyone goes to, the grocery stores and just they stock up on bread and water. I mean, just for a little bit of snow. So they don't worry about stuff like that up here. You just gotta get going. It's unbelievable.
I think it took, what was it, like 12 inches a couple years ago, and they had to, send all the help to help pick some of you guys up a few years ago. Did you hear about that? Big snowstorm?
Oh, no, I don't like driving.
Yeah, you still had to make, I think a couple people slept in thinking there'd be no practice, but
they don't work like that.
They made sure you guys were there. So we'll get to the next question here. This one coming from Tim in Madison. Since becoming a member of the Packers, have you got to meet a celebrity that you were excited about meeting? Outside of Lenny, of course.
Outside of yeah, I would say. I went to the Barn Stable Brown party over there for the Kentucky Derby, and that was pretty cool. I was over there, kind of on the dance floor doing my thing. I accidentally bumped into somebody. I was like, oh, it's Boys to Men. It's crazy. And then, I walk into the bathroom. I'm like, excuse me, sir. It's like Ashton Kutcher. I'm just like, what's going on right now? But I couldn't go groupie on him. I had to play it cool, act like, I really wasn't heart beating inside. I didn't want a picture or an autograph. So that'd be it. And I met Carrie Walsh at Arkansas. It was very random. She won 3 gold medals. That was pretty cool. She's like 7 foot tall. Long legs, long blonde hair, blue eyes.
And were you flashing the pipes like you are tonight?
I know. I got my sleeveless thing going. Had Lenny's relative already talking about my butt. That makes me feel real good. She likes it. I just got these jeans, and thank you for that.
I think we'll move on. Next question is for you, DJ. When did the Ninja Turtles trump Batman the Caped Crusader? This one coming from Valerie in Addison, Texas. I think there might be a story to this one.
Come again. When did what trump what?
When did the Ninja Turtles trump Batman the Caped Crusader?
That's my sister. From Addison, yeah, Valerie, Val Pal is who I call her. I'm sure you're listening right now. I think I was a big Ninja Turtles fan, huge. I could watch the movie without the volume and just say all the words. April O'Neil, and the 4 Turtles, Master Splinter, Shredder. I can just go all day.
I'm with you on this.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Some good stuff. And
I think you need to get a life, man.
Ninja Turtles, watching spiders, all kind of stuff. But then Batman just kind of took control because he's like the most realistic superhero. He doesn't have any superpowers, but he's out there doing his thing. And so, what if one day, I come across some newfound wealth and just feel like rolling around some back alleys, serving justice? That could be me. It probably won't work out like it does for Batman. I'll probably get shot or something, but...
Yeah, so that's why you wear the little headband thing.
I wear a headband to practice, like a little thing like the Ninja Turtles used to wear. It's cool.
You had anything like that, Alex? What did you enjoy growing up, I guess?
I like Ninja Turtles. I did. I watched Ninja Turtles.
Everybody did.
I didn't memorize the names like DJ. I had a little more social life than DJ. Nah. But
cool.
I like Superman a lot. No cape and everything. And
the most overrated superhero. You have a superhero that does everything. Come on. And then you just
That's a perfect superhero.
You throw a piece of kryptonite at him and he's done. That's weak. Overrated.
Do we got time for one more, Bill?
Actually, we do not.
All right.
Yeah. So we'll come back and we'll award our winner a couple of night package to Granite Peak. courtesy of the Granite Peak Ski Resort up in the Wausau area. More to come. We're back with more from Tanners and Kimberly on the Woodward Radio Network. And we're back at Tanner's Sports Bar and Grill in Kimberly. Good to have you along here. In the Huddle continues. Brought to you by Mills Fleet Farm. Back with DJ Williams and Alex Green. It's time now to announce our Granite Peak Ski Package winner from our email contest during the last segment. Justin, who do you got? All
right, we'll go with Terry in Little Chute this week. Had the question about Hawaii and Green Bay, so we'll hook him up with the ski package. So.
All right, congratulations, Terry. Indianapolis is up next. Colts were one of two teams to get a bye already this weekend, so the Colts come in well rested, but they've got a little turmoil on their hands. News out today that Colts head coach Chuck Pagano was diagnosed with leukemia. He last week already entered the hospital last Wednesday to begin rehab and therapy, and will be there for as long as 6 weeks. So their offensive coordinator Bruce Arians will take over on an interim basis, likely for the balance of the season. They say if all goes well that Pagano could be back in a limited role in the probably the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season. But when you hear that it doesn't matter what team you play for or anything like that. That's just sad stuff right there. And what do you it's not you, it's not your coach, but what do you think that team is going through? And can they possibly get on the field and fight the fight, or do they do it for him? Or what do you think you guys would be going through if you're in a similar scenario, if that's your coach?
Yeah, you kind of, definitely feel for him, prayers go out to him and his family and everything. And, that's a tough one, and you kind of have to, do it for him, be strong for him and, show him that, even though he's gone, you still got a team that he's been leading, and, they want to stand strong in a time of hard times right now.
Very tough situation, because if we were to put ourselves in their shoes and that happened to one of our coaches, and, we understand that, it's our coach, in a way, he's our boss, but at the same time, the amount of time we spend together, we care about, everyone on the team, and it'd be like a family member being down. So, prayers out to them, it's going to hurt them. But at the same time, will they come out and let it affect them on the field? I think not, because they understand that coach's passion was football, and being a competitor, getting out on the field and winning, and, giving 100%. And if they get out on the field and do anything less than what, he expects, then they wouldn't, be showing him any respect. So I think they're going to go out and respond very well and show him how much they care about him through the way that they play.
Well, they got a young quarterback by the name of Andrew Luck, who I'm sure you guys know a lot about, and he looks like he's a pretty good one already, and he's going to be really good down the road.
Yeah, watching him on film, because they've played a lot of teams that we played, so we watched a lot of study or whatever film on him, and he's a very exceptional player to be so young, the throws that he makes and his understanding of offense and how to operate. So they got a good thing in him in Indy, and he's going to be cool watching him develop over the years.
I was already reading some stuff online, and they think that the last time they played the Packers a couple of years ago, they held Aaron Rodgers to 186 passing yards. They really put a lot of heat on the Packers offense, and it sounds like, based on what I'm reading, that they believe that that's going to be the formula again to try to get after Rodgers. How, whether it's a lot of blitzing or whatever they've got to do. But I still find it hard to believe that you let a guy like Rodgers or a guy like Breeze just stand back there. Breeze was way too comfortable yesterday, just sitting back there and picking the secondary apart. And it's not a reflection on the secondary. It's a reflection on the fact that
Breeze is good.
Yeah,
he was that good.
And you let a good quarterback, in fact, he's a great quarterback. You let a great quarterback stand back there, have all day. It's pretty tough.
Yeah. And we got one too, and so you would imagine they would bring pressure. I think people are going to start looking at what the Seahawks did. They got the formula to beat the Packers. Even though it was a controversial call at the end of the game, we should have won. But we did give up 8 sacks, so I think a lot of teams are going to look back and see what they did. But I feel like we just can fine-tune our own craft, and we'll be just fine.
3-game road trip. You ever been on a 3-game road trip before playing football?
Nope, never. 2-game at most, never 3. So this would be interesting to see what it's going to be like. I know it's going to take a lot of us being strong mentally, you know, to get through it and everything and stay together.
Yeah, we had a quarterback and a couple of guys that played a few games on the road, and it led to a Super Bowl, so I feel pretty good with who we got.
Yeah, well, you had, a couple of years ago in the Super Bowl, had to do it in the
All
playoffs.
on the road, right? Yeah.
All on the road against playoff teams.
Yeah. That's how you get it done. I wish I was here for it, but I wasn't. But,
me too.
That would have been nice.
Yeah, you just got to win
Get
another
one now, right?
Yeah. Two's got to feel pretty good compared to 1 and 3, though.
Yeah, that'd have been terrible.
I mean, it feels. I'm sure it feels 2 and 2 almost feels like 3 and 1.
Yeah.
Based on the alternative.
A little bit like that, but it's all right. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. We'll be just fine.
Cedric Benson, we talked about him getting all the reps so far at running back. Your time's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. One thing I learned, really quick is patience. That's something I didn't have, and something that I have now. And a lot of guys got to sit out, and just the way it is sometimes. But
and it's tough.
It's coming.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming.
I can speak for him.
Yeah.
From what we were in college to coming back, sitting down and watching, it kills us, But we understand that's part of the way, you grow as a player in the NFL. But me and him talk all the time, like, man, we tell each other before every game, hey, today might be that day.
Might be the
day.
day.
It might be that day. Yeah. And then after the game, we say, maybe next week. Maybe next week.
Well, it's one of those things where what doesn't kill you makes you stronger,
right.
and that's the way you have to look at it.
Exactly.
For some people, they're handed that opportunity, and some people got to work a little harder for it.
Very true.
Alex, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for coming out. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Alex Green. DJ, we'll see you next week.
Right on.
Next Monday night. Thanks to DJ, Mike Steele, our engineer, Reggie Razoo, our producer, and Justin Hull here at Tanner's. Back again next Monday night, 6 to 7 o'clock in the Huddle on the Woodward Radio Network.